Hey everybody, welcome back to another action figure review. This is another Blast from the Past edition, G.I.Joe Classified. And today we're going to be looking at the Cobra Island Firefly. And this figure is one of the Target only releases. But of course here in the UK we don't have Target, so he was up for offer on pretty much every online retailer and whatnot. I was lucky in that I was able to get Firefly from a website for retail price. I know a lot of people had difficulties getting Firefly, although not quite as bad as the Trooper, I don't think. And I'm not sure how difficult it was compared to Beachhead and Baroness. All I know is that of all the Cobra Island figures, Firefly was the one I had the least amount of trouble picking up. And if you will notice, if you're a fan of Firefly and the G.I.Joe brand in general, the first thing you'll notice when you look at him is this vest overlay, which is completely different than his classic look. And we'll go over that as soon as we get to the figure, but first we're going to take a look at the box. And at the moment, you can see it's got the same Cobra Island branding. And it's got the Terradrome Fire Bat picture in the background. You can see Firefly there. Artwork of Firefly. More artwork on the side. Firefly is number 21 in the line. There's his file card information. Legalese on the bottom. Cobra symbol 21, window on the top. And of course another picture of Cobra Island on the back. And we've got these two sections here. This one I believe we've had before, but this one is new. This looks like the dockyards of Cobra Island. You can see there. This is where they would keep the water moccasins and the hydrofoils and whatnot. Also, you'll notice that this is number 21 on the line. If you saw my Baroness review, you'll remember that she was 13. And you're probably wondering why such a big jump in the numbers. And the reason for that is because 14 was the Arctic Mission Storm Shadow, which was an Amazon exclusive, I believe. I do have that figure, but I never opened him because I was waiting for the original version of Storm Shadow, the classic version with the white uniform and the Cobra symbol on his chest and everything, which we eventually got. But I did get that figure anyway, but I didn't open it, so it's in storage. And then numbers 15. I think number 15 is 15 is the Prophet Director Destro, also known as Pimp Daddy Destro. And I didn't get him because I think that figure is one of the ugliest figures in the line. And I have absolutely no desire or love for that figure at all. It looks terrible. Not at all what I would expect someone like Destro to wear. Figure number 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 are the 5 figures from this Snake Eyes Origins G.I. Joe movie that came out around the time this wave came out. And I didn't get any of them because the Snake Eyes didn't look any good to me, honestly. And I was waiting for the Alpha Commando set with Timber. So I passed on that Snake Eyes. The Storm Shadow, although he was decently portrayed in the movie, the character's kind of off-white, cream-colored uniform didn't appeal to me. Kiko is a character. She's figure number 18. Kiko is a character that was created just for the movie, so I had absolutely no like nostalgia for her, so I didn't care for the character, even though she was okay in the movie. Number 19 was Baroness, which I didn't like because of her long neck and short hair. Didn't really look like Baroness to me. I preferred the one with the, even though I didn't like the coil, I preferred the Baroness figure that came with the coil, so I skipped on that one as well. And then number 20 was Scarlet, and this Scarlet I almost picked up because I liked the way it looked, and the Samara Weaving, who played her in the movie, her head sculpt was really good looking. The only thing that made me pick up the number 5 Scarlet instead was she came with more stuff. She came with a quiver and 3 knives, whereas the Snake Eyes Origins Scarlet only came with a crossbow. So I was like, I'd rather pick up this figure and get more accessories. The head sculpt wasn't really that big of a deal compared to the number of accessories. So that's why we're at 21 now. So, done with the box, take a look at the figure. Now, oops, as I mentioned before, the overlay is different than anything that he wore in the past. Firefly's basic MO is his military specialty is he's a saboteur, and this is a vest more commonly associated with EODs or explosive ordnance disposal guys. And you know, there's a bit of a difference between setting a bomb and disarming it. So Firefly is not dressed for his job basically here. His job is infiltration, sabotage, and exfiltration. And when you're doing something like that, you kind of want to not have bulky vests hindering your movements, you know? So his vest is really strange. He looks like he would be more at home hanging out with Jeremy Renner in the Hurt Locker than planting bombs, you know? This is the type of vest that would be more suited for tripwire rather than Firefly. So they took the vest off of him for the remake or the retro version they released, which is more in keeping with the classic aesthetic. But some people didn't dislike this, and personally, I don't find it too terrible. I do prefer the original version, but one good thing about this figure, though, is the head sculpt is pretty good. He's got this crazy look in his eye. You can see there. And he's even got this, like, raised ridge on his head, like he's got a big bump in his noggin or something like that. The new one's eyes are, like, quite a bit more neutral. And some people didn't like the new head sculpt compared to this one. But the minus the vest is better. Now, the vest can't come off. Even if you pop the arms and the head, I think you have to cut it off. At least I've never seen anyone take it off without cutting it. Maybe it has been done, but I'm not sure. Most of the people I've seen who have modified this figure have cut the vest off with a X-Acto knife, just slid it down the side there. It's a pretty nice looking vest though, even if it doesn't quite fit him. It's got these 3 grenades on the top there. It's got this shoulder pad with this Cobra emblem on it. It's got these 4 pouches on the front. Got some decent paint on it. The belt's all nice and silver. The back is more bare than the front, obviously, but when he puts his backpack on, you don't see it anyway. It's got the straps and all that stuff. No paint on the back. It's also got this scorcher and scratch it on the kick plate or on the butt plate for some reason. In fact, the whole thing is pretty damaged. Makes you wonder just how good this guy is at his job if he keeps getting all these cuts and scrapes and gouges in his armor, his vest protector. Like, maybe he does need it. But he's supposed to be really good at his job. Like, the best. So, the fact that he would think he wouldn't even need this. Firefly strikes me as the guy who's too arrogant to wear something like this. He's the best. He knows he's the best. He's not going to wear something like this. You know? But figures he's also got pouches on the side of his arms there. Both sides. The camo pattern looks pretty good. It's more modern than the original figure. Boots. He looks like he's got the same boots as Destro. Don't quote me on that. Like I've said before, I'm not a parts guy. I couldn't tell you which parts are reused from which characters, but those do kind of look like the boots Destro came with. And of course, you got those knee pads there. Articulation, because of the collar here, he doesn't get too much back or forward, but he can tilt back quite a bit. He's got some tilt there. He can do an exorcist spin. The shoulder is attached to the harness with a kind of bendy plastic there, so it gets out of the way if you want to spin his arms all the way around. He can do a T-pose. He can hinge out about that far, not quite greater than 90, just about 90 degrees. He's got the bicep cut. He's got pinned double jointed arms. Side to side peg on his wrist, on his right arm. Up and down peg on the left arm, the left hand. Yeah, this one doesn't want to move. There you go. The overlay hinders articulation. I couldn't tell you what he has under there. It might not be anything at all. Can't really see. He can twist at the waist, but I can't tell if he has an ab crunch or a diaphragm cut. Probably an ab crunch, but you're not going to get much out of it because of the vest. You can lean forward about that far and back about that far. You kind of have to hold him in place in order to get the best out of the range there. So he's got the normal drop down hips. That lets him do the Van Damme splits. Yeah, my Firefly is kind of loose in his left leg. He does have a thigh cut. See? Just a little loose. Not good. This is at this point, like a 2-year, 3-year-old figure. I think it's 2 years. So, he's been around. I don't think I've messed with him too much, so I put him in a pose and then stuck him in my display. So, honestly, it's been a while since I got him. I can't remember if his legs were loose out of the box. He's got double jointed pinned knees, and the knee joint is loose. Not as bad as just the normal leg, the hip, but it's still pretty loose. Right leg's fine. He's got a boot cut. Foot hinges back that far, hinges forward like that. He's got that rocker action and pegs on the bottom. Accessory wise, he comes with this pair of goggles here, night vision goggles. All black rubber except for the eye sockets, which are red. This can slide on its head just like that. He also comes with this weird gun. Not like anything I've ever seen before. It's another one of those railgun type laser weapons or whatever. It's got that weird barrel. All black plastic. It's got details, but you can't really see them because there's no wash. It's got a peg on the side there to plug into his backpack, and of course a hole in the trigger so he can stick his finger in there. The laser cartridge, I guess, does not remove. He also comes with this backpack, and there is some paint on here, which is nice. His tools have been painted. It's like he's got pliers and wire cutters and strippers and a wrench. All kinds of tools there. I'm not a saboteur, so I don't know exactly what kind of tools those guys use, but there you go. He has a dynamite bundle. Red dynamite, black fastenings and wires attached to a timer that has no paint or detail whatsoever. But he does come with this bundle of dynamite. I just noticed that one of the accessories was misplaced, but I found it. He comes with this control device. It's all black plastic, no detail, but it looks like a screen right there. This would either be used to detonate his explosives, or you can use it as a remote control for this drone. All black plastic. It's a red dot in the middle for its camera. And it's got two fans on the top there so I can fly. And if you notice when I first brought it in, its legs can move, so it can go in and out like that, or back like that. Or you can get creative and have it jogging down the beach. So as usual with G.I. Joe, this stuff all pegs into the backpack, and so the figure can carry it on all with him. Drone pegs in like that. You can put it down like there so it can rest. The control pad goes right into the backpack there. Bundle of dynamite sticks onto the bottom like that. And then his gun pegs into the side over there like that. And then that all pegs into his back like that. And he's ready to go. Now, as usual with these figures and their weird Nerf guns in the beginning, I gave mine a different weapon from a Valaverse weapons pack Bravo. Or Charlie. I think this was Charlie. I gave him this. Resembles like a Tech 9 type submachine gun. Or machine pistol. Can't remove the clip, the magazine. But, yeah. This is what my Firefly uses because it looks a lot better than that weird Nerf gun that he came with. It also looks more like the gun that his original figure came with. I think if you were to paint that green and give it a stock, it would be pretty much the same as the one that the OG came with. Oh, there you have it. That's the Cobra Island Firefly. give me a like and subscribe. Comment down below if you had this figure or if you missed out on him and got the second release instead. If you got both of them, which one do you prefer? I actually haven't gotten the second release figure yet. I've got him pre-ordered, but he hasn't been released yet in Europe, so I'm still waiting. And catch you next time, next Sunday, with another blast from the past. I think, oh yeah, next Sunday we're going to be looking at the last figure of the first Cobra Island wave, and that is the Cobra Viper. So stay tuned. Actually, I think the Viper might have came out earlier, or later rather. No, it came out afterwards. Okay. But it's the next figure in the line anyway. So next week, Cobra Island, Cobra Viper, Blast from the Past review. Tuesday, I should have the Mezco Destro review up. And then Friday, I'll have another review up, but I don't know what it will be yet. I haven't decided. So stay tuned. Give me a like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll catch you next time.